iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting. It is your time, the CEO, does today for the very last time. Yeah, those late nights and uploading videos at 1 a.m. will all be a thing of the past. Bafana Bafana finished third place in this tournament. Yeah, of course, no one wants to play a losers final. That's what they call it, the third and fourth place playoff. But here we are. Yeah, Bafana Bafana winning on penalties there. DR Congo. Of course, they will know that they should have probably won this game. Not probably, they should have definitely won this game. Yeah, we're not going to be very long. There's nothing much to be said about this. You watch the tournament with your own eyes. You make your own decision about what you think. Yeah, and of course, all people have spoken. Some people standing in front of you wanting to be liked by you will say one thing. And those same people, of course, will say something else when the results are different. What you want from people is some level of consistency. If we are talking about performances, I say that we should be worried about the future when it comes to specifically performances, but not to dampen the spirit. The boys outperformed their ranking. They were number 12, number 13 in the world. They are number 3 in this tournament, not in the world, but in this tournament. So they outperformed their ranking in terms of result, not performances, just with the results. The great performance was the Nigeria performance. That was very emotional to see them lose that game because they were really good in that game. They deserve to win. This one, I think Congo will feel bad about losing, and Cape Verde will feel bad about losing because they clearly dominated. Tso Vilakazi, former Bafana Bafana midfielder, a summary on the game. So what did you make of the game?
Kunjani mfethu ngibulise wena ngibulise Justice ngibulise Junior ngibulise nemakhaya ngicela support njalo iDiskiTV ngizobe nje benjalo ngichike futhi. You know, sometimes when you looking at the future,
It's after 12.
oh yes, work is work baba. Lesebenze baba. You know it's when you look at the future, I can say mina now it's a blessing in disguise not South Africa go through to the finals and win the cup, because we don't look at the future in our country. We just look at now. This is what we want now. We don't care. Thinking tomorrow will look after itself. Let's look at what we can do today, and then tomorrow will take care of itself. And that was my worry. And yes, let's not take away the win of the boys. You know, look. This game goes back to the game in Cape Verde, where in Cape Verde they were like, look, guys, it should be us there. You know, they did everything in Cape Verde, like in DRC, where they're supposed to put the ball just, you know, to cross the line, but they couldn't do that. And if you can check the chances that they've created more than us, you know, and you know, that's football. You know, football. You know, these guys are doing everything, but you'll find that we get maybe one chance and then we score a goal and then we win. And it nearly happened.
You don't always get what you deserve.
Yes, it happens. And look, well done to Rowan. Mr. Nkeu, when you look at the team, and I look at and analyze all the teams in this AFCON, I'll clap hands for the boys and for our nation. Why? Because 98% of the players are local. And then we've got 2% that are playing abroad. And again, when you look at sometimes the element of playing of us, we're different when you look at the other countries where they never had that number 10, a thinker for the team. You know, we are different at some element of the game itself. But yeah, my word is that team. You know, we've shown the good performance against Nigeria. I thought tonight we're gonna yes, and I was worried about that after the game. I even said, can we do that against the DRC? Can we continue where we left against Nigeria? And you know, same old. You know, was saying into yakhe vele wasibonisa ukuthi no mina I'm going to defend and wait for them to get to the penalties, then I will win the game. And it's worrying I hope maybe the coach will learn from this AFCON to say, look, we played well against Nigeria. I think if I can work from that mentality and that performance of that game on Nigeria. Remember, we still have to play against Nigeria and against them for the qualifiers of the World Cup. Then the mentality, the game plan needs to change.
But the old habits die hard.
Yeah, no, that's a sad part, Mr. Nkeo, because sometimes those,
especially if those old habits gave you rewards, because these ones, like this thing of every man behind the ball sacrificing attacking players, not willing to attack. I remember I specifically just said to a lot of publications when I was speaking to them and media outlets when I said the plan here looks like they're going to drag this game to penalties and then try to win there. I didn't think that I was actually trying to predict, just that you answer the question that you were being asked. And it's 3 consecutive games that has happened. Unfortunately, with things like qualifiers, if you are 0-0 at the end of the game, it's 0-0 and 1 point. And if we say after 6 matches, 3 draws or 6 draws, or maybe we've already lost a game as well, and won 1, then you're most likely not going to qualify as well. But yet, maybe on the positive side is that they were able to get to this point, although they are, you try to balance your view. It's good that they got themselves to this point, but the tricky thing is that when you get validation from doing something, from doing the wrong thing, it's like you're getting a reward from doing the wrong thing. The temptation is there for you to continue to do the wrong thing. We are supposed to always have 3 attacking players at any given point in a game so that they become our attacking outlet when we get out. When you sacrifice those players and you ask them to defend, that's why they look confused when they get to the final third, because they have to do so much work defending. I saw a rumor of this coach being Hugo Broos being linked with Tunisia. I don't think that there's any appetite. I think you will find 1 or 2 people who think that Hugo Broos must go, but I don't think after what he's done. Although I do think that it's not a blessing, it's a curse that has happened, because you can't argue for him to go. Yeah. Because what are you basing that on? But on the scope of performances, I can bet my house that this house of cards is gonna crumble, and it's gonna be horrible in a very bad way. The hope for me is that when I saw that report from one of our journalists, is that I hope that Tunisia really wants him for real. What do you think is the future for the coach and for the players, and even for the style of play, especially coming into the qualifiers? They're going to have to play the qualifiers for the next year's AFCON as well. What do you think is the way forward?
Mr. Nkeo, Tina like us South Africans, Siganj. The coach, that's us South Africans. The coach took us from nowhere. Yeah. Sabang number 3. Why should we allow him to go?
That's a poor mentality. It's as if you're not watching.
Mr. Nkeo, as South Africans, we don't look at how we get there.
That's true, sir.
How we get there doesn't matter. Now, what matters is that we were so number 3 manje. Why should we allow the coach to go? Mm-hmm. And the sad part is that if I don't know to dala, he creates 8 to pay 2 A's, down to pay 2 A's. Yeah. Now I have a pit about 2 about 3. Ngalo one wakolo. You pay 2, you pay 1 lapa. Mosha low shot to pay the game. So that's one thing that as South Africans we need to look. It's like let's think outside the box to say, yeah, it's figure number 3. How? Okay, it's fine, it's figure, but let's look at how we get there. How? We did create chances. Yes, we were praying with penalties. When we pray to get to a final against Nigeria, they were also praying. Yeah. They were also praying, and remember, basically, when you pray and work hard and have the right combination in terms of creating chances, and you don't have the right combinations, and one way or another, Kutasha one Satan does a very same God, both of us, but the work rate is different. then now the experience also plays a part. That's what happens against Nigeria, because you could see those guys when they were taking penalties good. Even if stand no one's not back penalty. There's no way we'll beat Nigeria on penalties. But Mr. Nkeo, the South Africans, they will never allow the coach to leave. Hope, that's why I'm saying personally, I hope the coach will sit down and analyze with his technical team about the tournament itself and look at the games individually, and hope that against the game in Nigeria, he will build up from that.
We thought it was going to build from
that. So that's why I'm saying I hope now, because he's going to have time, Mr. Keo, to sit down and analyze the tournament, the whole of the tournament, and analyze in terms of the game, the players, individuals, and see how we get to those knockout stages and how we played against Nigeria in terms of the last 5 minutes. How did they manage to make things happen? It's just that they didn't have luck in terms of scoring, especially after that free kick Kamukwena where was supposed to tape in. So I just hope, after analyzing the whole tournament and his team, maybe he will say, let me work with my team based on that performance in Nigeria.
There you go. Thank you very much to Mr. Tso. And so, yeah, the Nigeria performance, that was it. We thought that even in this game, he was going to continue with that, but that didn't happen. That's why I'm saying you can't teach old dog new tricks, or old habits die hard. But of course, yeah, there will come a time where you will reach this point. I think, like Tso was alluding to, people see 1-0 and say, yeah, you won. And then if you lose 3-0, they say, ooh, to coach. The most important thing is the performance. It will tell you where you are going. If you don't get that now, you will never get it, and that's fine. We will get there. Sizawufika apho sifika khona. Ikhona pia khona lento. Njengoba simane sifika kwi-draw ngo-90 minutes, draw ngo-90 minutes, draw ngo-90 minutes. Xa izi-group stages ze-tournament or the-qualifiers, go-1 point, 1 point, 1 point, bonke abakho ma-penalty kwezo nto zo-qualifiers. Especially xa udlala negative football, uzawupanish, uzawubethwa. But otherwise, badlalile bona bazafika kule ndawo bafike kuyo. Not uba baperformile, badlalile nje babafumana ezo results. Great performance, specifically the match in Nigeria. That's the only match that I thought they deserved to go to the final. Other than that, we shall see. We'll be here. We've been here for 4 years. We'll be here again the next 4 years. If I have money tomorrow, you'll never see me again. If I had 20 million tomorrow, I will never shoot a video again in my life. I'm so tired. It's close to 1 a.m. now. Thank you very much. iDiskiTV, Diski Times, also Sporting. Thank you for watching us.